Hey, honey.
Yes, Barry?
Let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Where do we always go?
Este ritmo de palmas, sin naturaleza, hasta encontrar la playa. Por eso grito al mundo, yo soy de Puerto Vallarta. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche.
Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. I'm your host, Barry Kessler, and I'm just so happy to be introducing you to my favorite vacation destination, and I hope it's even yours, and that's Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, of course. That music you're listening to is performed by Alberto Perez, and Alberto is the owner of the Lapa Lapa group of restaurants here. Those are the Lapa Lapa, Puerto Vallarta's oldest restaurant on the famous Los Muertos Beach, and the El Dorado Restaurant and Beach Club right next door. So you can enjoy that fantastic view of the Los Muertos Pier, all lit up at night in beautiful colors, or during the day in its grand splendor for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, seated with your toes in the sand right at the water's edge. It's so romantic. It's so Puerto Vallarta, my friends. This week, we're going to the Cinco de Diciembre neighborhood of Puerto Vallarta, and we're going to eat. What a surprise, right? We never do that. I'm going to take you to another one of my favorite restaurants, and you're going to meet one of my favorite people in Puerto Vallarta. Her name is Isabel Madero, and Isabel is from Laylas Restaurant and Bar. But before we get to Isabel and Layla's, let's see what's happening this week in Puerto Vallarta, the 10th of January, 2020. Well, I'm doing what I said I would not do ever again. I'm actually coming to you from Puerto Vallarta, and I'm recording in Puerto Vallarta. I missed my self-imposed deadline to post this episode before I left my home in Los Angeles to Paradise here. So here I am. I am in an Airbnb, which is on the corner of Honduras and Bolivia in the Cinco de Diciembre neighborhood. It is fairly quiet. It is a lot quieter than the last place that I just left, but you may hear some noise, and I don't have my regular studio equipment, but this is a fairly good spot, I think, to record, so I'm just letting her rip, if you know what I mean. The big news, the event that is coming up tomorrow, actually, Saturday the 11th. If you're in town, you should head to Chicos Paradise down in Cabo Corrientes. Chicos is along the Rio Horcones. It's a beautiful, beautiful spot. They're going to have a music festival. They're going to celebrate this great river and this beautiful part of nature here in Puerto Vallarta. There's going to be food and music and dancing and commuting with nature right along the Rio Horcones. The event is being held in order to raise awareness about the fragile nature of the river and its ecosystems, and to remind everybody that a hydroelectric dam on the river is a bad idea, right? Now, yesterday morning, I attended a press conference at the restaurant Hacienda de Carlota on Lázaro Cárdenas in the Emiliano Zapata neighborhood of Puerto Vallarta. By the way, the refreshments and drinks were provided by the Julie Guerrero Real Estate Group. So thank you very much, Julie, for that. And I was able to meet with the planners of the event, as well as some of the local newspapers and news people and bloggers and, people that have the same kind of passions that I do for the environment and for the Rio Horcones Canyon and the river. And, we've talked about this a lot on the podcast. You know how I feel about this. I had an opportunity to ask my friend and fellow conservationist Rosa, who was playing the role of spokesperson for the concert. I asked her a couple questions regarding the event. Rosa was there actually to speak to the Spanish reporters to make the announcement about the event. So I asked her after she was done doing her spiel in Spanish if she would do her spiel for me in English, and she said, sure. So let's go right now to Hacienda de Carlota. Let's listen to that conversation. Hello, who am I speaking with?
Hello, my name is Rosa. I was born in Puerto Vallarta, and I do also spend my early years living in Las Juntas y Los Veranos because I do have family over there.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit. We got a big celebration coming up of the Rio Horcones. Tell us about that event.
Yes, the celebration is for life, for a great ecosystem that represents Cañón Los Horcones, and we're having a music festival this January the 11th, starting at 1 a.m. until 6 p.m.
Okay, you mean 1 p.m. till 6 p.m. because that'll be a long event.
Oh yes, yeah, we have so much to celebrate, and that's the excuse.
Yes, okay, excellent. Tell us about why it is that we're having this event.
Why it is? Because we are looking forward to, as a group of citizens that love Mama Nature, and according to what it's happening around the world, we need conservation. So Cañón Horcones needs to be preserved in the natural state because it also represents that for the entire Banderas Bay.
Excellent. Who's going to be out of the event?
Okay, who's going to be out at the event? We have great musicians who are also collaborating with us, completely volunteering. Everything has been with the help and the willing of many people who also wants to or wishes to preserve the natural state of the river. So we have from 1 p.m. until 1:30 p.m. to Jose Lupe. After him, we have mariachi music, we have Stoli, Tatewari, Media Luna, Moruno, and everything keeps going well. We also are going to have Ricky Sen performing for us, some classic rocks, some of the most iconic music we have heard through the years.
Excellent. Is there any charge for the event?
No, the event is completely free, but please, bring money to make some donations, and also there are gonna be some ACs that already provide their bank accounts for the people who will both to make a deposit. Well, they can do it with them. They are already backing up this event.
Excellent. Okay, so. So how are people getting there? Are they just hopping on a bus and coming on down? What's going on there?
Yes, people could go by taxi on our webpage, horcones.mx. They could follow them the way to show up there. There is the Google Maps how they can get there, and also by picking up the bus right here
in Carranza.
And Esperanza?
Carranza.
And Carranza,
right.
Yes, just a little bit, just 1 block farther from the La Cruz church, and it will drop you off right there. It probably costs you 25 pesos to get there, and it will be during the day, so it's easy for you just to come back early.
Excellent. Is there going to be food?
Yes, there are going to be food like hamburgers because it's the most economic. They will be with meat and also vegetarian or a little bit vegan for the people who doesn't eat it. But please, come and join us. This is to celebrate life, to celebrate the natural state of the rivers and the mountains and those places that have made of Puerto Vallarta the place that is nowadays. Let's not turn it into a huge city. If not, let's also to coexist with the fauna that makes possible life on planet Earth. I think it's time for us to give back and to remunerate and preserve it the way it has always been. So the invitation is out there for all of you. Please be part of it, and you are super welcome, and we'll be waiting for you.
Excelente. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
No, you're welcome to Puerto Vallarta travel show. Hope to see you over there and dance and celebrate for life. And until then.
Thank you so much, Rosa. Come on down, everybody. So our next guest is Ricky Zen. Ricky also was there. He's going to be the MC for the event. And so why don't we go right now? Let's listen to Ricky and find out a little bit about his story, and he'll tell us what's going on. I'm here with Ricky Zen. Ricky, thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about this event that's coming up.
Well, this event is a magic event to celebrate the Rio Los Horcones. It's a beautiful habitat that surrounds this river canyon. And this event is to kind of bring awareness and love to the community and also the world to see how this river feeds life itself. And we're going to celebrate it with music, as we have done in the past for beautiful events like this, and to put out a positive word to the communities that this river has to be protected, because we've seen in a lot of past experiences that a lot of the waterways, especially even around here that I've noticed, they do have their different construction sites and things that are feeding into the rivers. So this is kind of a positive event to share awareness.
You're a musician, and you're also you're an ecologist, right? You spent the last 20 years in Thailand, I understand. Do they have similar issues and similar problems?
Oh, wow, yes, of course. It's been amazing. I was in Thailand over 22 years, and I, of course, experienced a tsunami on Boxing Day. And from that point, I got very involved with different charity events or raising funds, music events like this. But as far as conservation goes, I can say it now. I've actually been undercover for the illegal pet trade, finding who's involved in that over there, because it's a huge issue. There were way back, I'd say maybe 18, 20 years ago, they were still taking some wild elephants. Now that seems to have ceased. I mean, it's what we hope to believe. So yes, it's a never-ending battle to be involved in conservation. And when I came to Puerto Vallarta, I just fell in love with the floral fauna, the people, and had to get involved in this beautiful event.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. We'll see you at the event, and we'll talk then as well. If that's okay with you.
I look really forward to it, and maybe I'll get you up on stage with me. We'll sing a song.
Right on. I'm there.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Ricky. All right. So if you are in town, just really please consider coming up the river, joining us for the music and the dancing and commute with Mother Nature. Again, it's Saturday, January the 11th. It's going to be from 1 o'clock until 6 at Chicos Paradise. I found some old pictures of me and my wife at Chicos Paradise back in the 80s. I think it was 1984. And I'll clean them up and I'll post them in the show notes. But if you're listening to the show right now on January the 10th, the blog post will be really not totally completed for another 24 hours because I have to add some stuff. And I'm slaving away in paradise, right? So I'm not going to have that whole thing on the website page all squared away until probably tomorrow. So please make sure you check it tomorrow. You can look at all the links and all the pictures and all that other stuff. Just remember to head up to Chico's Paradise if you're in town. Now, remember, again, don't forget, I know it's a free event, but this is for the Rio, and we are, bring some money so that we can help raise awareness and keep those jokers from building a damn dam. Okay? All right. Wednesday, Rodolfo the blind tenor, who you may have seen from time to time walking along the Malecon, singing opera. He performed over at the Iglesia de Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe the other day. It is an annual fundraiser for the church, and the church was packed. It was a packed house, standing room only for Rodolfo, and the music was lovely. I met a group of folks called Friends of Rodolfo, and in the next couple of days, I'm going to be interviewing Rodolfo, and hopefully maybe his wife Julia, if she'll come on the show too. And, of course, I'll be interviewing some of his friends. We'll be talking about how you can hire Rodolfo for an event. God, that guy's got to get his brakes fixed. Or, I'm sorry, for an event or, a party or, a wedding or anything like that. Anyway, friends of Rodolfo are pretty interesting as well. And maybe even you can become a friend of Rodolfo yourself. We'll show you how. And we'll be talking about that actually on Rodolfo's episode that'll be coming up in just a couple weeks. Arte Viviente, the new art collective, the co-op, whatever you want to call them, they're having their grand opening on Wednesday, January the 15th. It's going to be from 6 o'clock until 10. Let me read from their Facebook invite. It says, join us for the fabulous evening of art, cocktails, and fun. We are so excited to invite you to see 50-plus local artists showcasing their latest work in one place. See you there. Arte Viviente is located, you guys, at 800 Morelos. It sits right on the corner of Morelos and Pipila. You drive right past it as you come into town. It's a great location, easy to see, and it has a fantastic mural on the side by the local artist Quetzal. It's beautiful, and the inside is beautiful too. It's just really well laid out. I had a great conversation about Arte Viviente with my very good friend Marcia Blondin. And you're going to hear that in the coming weeks. We're going to have Marcia on. Now, I've been interviewing some really great guests, and you're really going to love the coming weeks and months, I guarantee you. Now, the new road to Puerto Vallarta has been postponed again. Let me read here from the Mazatlan Post. It is the fourth time that they postponed the completion of the project. For all of those travelers who expected to travel to Vallarta in record time and next vacation, that desire has to wait since the Via Corta will be finished not until 2020, the end of 2020. According to the balance of works carried out during 2018, the Via Corta project should have been completed by October of 2019. With information from Mural, the Ministry of Communications and Transportation reported only 56% of the progress of the project, which in turn should have been completed in 2014. The project has invested 6,454,036 pesos in total, and they still need economic resources to be able to conclude that journey. The works of the Guadalajara to Puerto Vallarta Highway project began in 2012, with projections to be completed in 2 years. For its part, with the information from Mural, the SCT first announced that the section would be completed by April of 2018, and then in September, the last for October 2019, and now it has been postponed until the end of 2020. The Nayarit Center of the Ministry of Communications and Transportation said that the work had not stopped in recent years. However, many of the sections have required extra work. We've talked about that, of course, on this program. Things like, landslides. Anyway, units trust that the road will be ready by the end of 2020. And I have the link to that article in the Mazatlan Post in the show notes. So check it out if you want to read it again. We had our first meet and greet on Tuesday at Kelly's Por Favor Saloon and Cookhouse. I had listener Tom stop by. Tom's from Maryland, and he shared with us, as well as, who else was there? Billy and Lisa from the Orphanage Rise. You know that place. We had them on several months ago. And actually, if you haven't heard that episode, you should check that out. And anyway, they were talking to me about all the new things happening at Rise. So we're going to have Tom, and we're going to have Billy, and we're going to have Lisa on the show in the weeks to come, a couple of weeks or so. I really love Tom. He was a great guy. You're going to like him too. Well, today was moving day for me. I was in an Airbnb on the Malecon called Malecon Uno. It's right across from Malecon Dos. All right, all right, whatever. It was noisy because, first of all, they were doing construction inside. I don't know what they were hammering and pounding at. I think maybe building another pool. I don't know. But The other issue was that it was noisy because I was right on Morelos. My window looked right out on Morelos Street. Okay, Morelos is the street where if you're coming into town, everybody that comes into town drives right past my window. It was nice, really nice. There was a bus stop right underneath my window too. Very cool. I'm just so happy that the buses now are that compressed natural gas, because if it was anything else, that would have been just awful to be staying there. Let's see, it was pretty noisy. It got quiet around 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was pretty quiet until about 6 o'clock in the morning when things started up again. I will not stay in that one again. I took video, and I will post that up next week after I get done, doing my review on the one that I'm in right now, which is up in the Cinco de Diciembre neighborhood. Very much quieter. We'll see if there's dogs at night. We'll see. Roosters? Come on, roosters. Whatever. Yesterday, I had a record day for interviews. I did 6 of them. I was ready for a shot and a beer chaser after that, I'm going to tell you. Anyway, I was recording from 9 o'clock in the morning at that press conference until 9:30 at night. I rounded things up over at the Marina Vallarta, and I got a great interview with a lady who can really sing. Her name is Vanessa Amara, and we'll have her too pretty soon on another show. So I'm sitting in this new Airbnb, like I said, across the street from Anne-Marie Weiss Armush's place, the Vallarta Abuelos lady. She does the cultural tour. You know her. We had her on the show, and it's pretty funny, actually. I can't wait to wave at her one day. Hi! Anyway, the cool thing is that there's this great, there's 2 really great restaurants within crawling distance of this place. One of them is called Meño's Place, and another one is La Traviata, and both of those are very nice, pretty view restaurants that sit on top of little hotels, little older hotels. So lucky me. We'll see if the internet is good or not. I haven't tried it yet. But I have to say that this is a much nicer spot than the one that I just left. And like I said, next week I will post videos of this one, and I'm going to post videos of the last one and kind of do a little review on both of them, because that's what I do for you. Anyway, all I can say now about what things are like in Puerto Vallarta, well, it's sunny. The weather is perfect. It's a little cool, for the locals. You see them all wrapped up in the evenings. It's pretty funny. I'm walking around in a T-shirt and shorts, and these guys are like wrapped up like they're freezing cold. Anyway, the days are in the low 80s. The humidity is low. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm telling you, just come on down. See a whale. You have a good time. You just don't know what you're missing. Have a margarita. Anyway, maybe you do know what you're missing. Anyway, I'm going to shut up right now. Let's get on with the interview, shall we? Now, as you know by now, I love to eat, and I love to take you to places where I like to go out and eat. So this next place is one of those places, and it's called Laylas Restaurant and Bar, and it's kind of hidden away. It's a hidden little jewel in Puerto Vallarta. So how do you get there, you ask? Well, let's just do that. You walk up the Malecon till you get to the end of the Malecon. And once you get there, you'll see the McDonald's over there. And walk up the left side of the street. That street is Avenida Mexico. So walk up on the left-hand side of the street. You're going to walk up just a couple of blocks. You're going to see Parque Hidalgo on your right, and you're going to walk past Parque Hidalgo. And just as you get to that street that goes past Parque Hidalgo on the end, that street is called Calle Venezuela. And if you take a look to your left, down Calle Venezuela, you will see the restaurant. You will see Layla's. It's Venezuela 137. Like I said, it's in Colonia Cinco de Diciembre. And, well, I'm going to let Isabel, my friend, tell you about this restaurant. So let's meet one of the nicest ladies that you'll meet in Puerto Vallarta. She's my friend. She's the mom of Layla. Her name is Isabel Madero. And let's go right now to Laylas Restaurant in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Isabel, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for coming to Laylas Restaurant.
Tell my listeners, now you are from Puerto Vallarta. What part of Puerto Vallarta are you from?
Was born here in this street, in this part of town, close to Parque Hidalgo and the beautiful church that we have on the top.
Nice. So you haven't moved very much around here, have you?
No, because this was my neighborhood and most of my family live in this street. So I live all my life, not all my life, part of my life in this side of town.
So tell us about this restaurant. This restaurant is built where your family lived?
Yes, this restaurant was from here to the corner was my grandma's house.
Ah.
So it's a special place for me.
Absolutely. And when did you open this restaurant?
This restaurant we opened almost like 8 years ago.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's named Layla. Who's Layla?
Layla was my daughter.
Oh.
She passed away 7 years ago. So when I decided to move from the States back to Puerto Vallarta, I decided to put her name in this place because she's a special girl.
Yeah.
And she's always in my mind, so I mention her every single day when I'm here.
Yes, you do. Well, that's lovely. That's a nice story. So you started the restaurant 8 years ago, and it's every time I come by, it's improved. You started small, I imagine. What was it
Yes.
like when you first started?
Well, we open only, this restaurant had 4 floors, but we only opened 2 floors. The kitchen was downstairs. We have around 7 tables in the first floor and 6 tables on the top floor where was the bar.
Uh-huh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have really done some additions here. I mean, we're sitting right now on the rooftop. You added another floor and a half. What, another floor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful what you've done here. They've got this fireplace-looking thing, and they've got a beautiful fish tank and tropical fish floating around in there. And it's nice and cool and very nice and airy here.
It is.
Nice location.
It is.
How was that building this place? It must have been something, right? How long did it take you to complete the rooftop?
Well, the rooftop, we opened 2 years ago, but we did another renovation, so the whole floor is something new.
Ah, okay.
And we moved the kitchen to the 3rd floor, so because we start growing and growing, so we need a bigger place, a bigger kitchen. And then we decide to open the top floor.
Yeah, well, It looks great, and they got the bar up here too. So 4 floors, 4 flights of steps. So if you want the exercise, come on up to the top. Otherwise, it's an easy. You can actually eat on the bottom floor, right?
Yes.
If you don't want to do stairs, or you can eat
second.
on the second floor too.
Yes, so
All
the
right.
second floor, you don't want to come all the way up, but it's worth it. If you come to the top floor, you will like it.
Yeah,
so it's good,
absolutely.
the exercise.
Yeah, it gets you all ready.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your menu here. What you've done a little bit of changes here in the menu. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the menu is my partner is the one that decide and make the menu. So it's we're trying to make a little bit of touches of Mexican food. I mean, we don't sell tacos or those traditional Mexican food, but we give a touch of a mixture of ingredients that they are real Mexicans.
Yeah.
So every year we have something new. So every year we don't change the whole menu, we change part of the menu.
Got it.
So people that they come back to Layla's, they will have always something new to eat.
Yeah. Nice. So what's the most popular dish on your menu?
Pork shank.
Okay, tell us about
with
the pork
adobo.
shank. With
the
adobo.
pork shank is braised. We cook it for about 6 hours, very slowly, Adobo is a different kind of chilies. And has cinnamon and pepper and many ingredients. I don't know all the ingredients that they put in, but it's really, really delicious. It's one of our favorites that we sell in Laylas.
So it's a slow roasted pork
Shank.
shank. Wow. Okay. And with that on that plate, what will you have on that plate?
In that plate, we put rice and pico de gallo and tortillas, of course.
Of course. Nice. How about seafood? What kind of seafood dishes do you have on your menu?
For seafood, we have shrimp. We just made this year shrimp with tamarind mole.
Oh, wow.
It's a very delicious dish. And we have fish too. We have tuna. We have sea bass. And sometimes we put salmon too.
Okay.
In the menu, like a special.
Yeah. And on those dishes too, you'll have rice probably and some vegetables.
Rice,
and
mashed potatoes, and in the menu we're trying to make a mixture. We have everything. We have pork, we have beef, we have pasta, salads, appetizer, guacamole that is very famous. Everybody knows guacamole.
Yeah,
So we have it in the menu too.
Yeah. How about lunch? Is your lunch menu different than your dinner menu?
This year, yes.
Yeah, tell me
We
about
decided
that.
to make a new menu. So we're trying to do a little bit of Mexican too in the menu. So you have to come back and try because it's all new, the whole menu.
All right, you hear that? If you are fans of Layla's, come back and check out the new menu.
The new menu.
Now that's for lunch too, right?
For lunch.
Yeah.
We open at 12 and
Okay.
we close 11 at night.
Wow. So yeah, you put in a big long day.
Long day, yes.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing about this restaurant?
Well, my favorite thing of this place is my customers. That with the time they are now like my best friends. So every time they are in Vallarta, they always stop by, and that's my favorite part,
Wow.
to meet people.
Yeah, you meet people that love you. They love your
love me.
food, and they come back every year.
And yes, and
you gotta love that.
And I love them too very much.
Wow. Is there any difficult thing about doing business in Mexico?
Well, in Puerto Vallarta, what is the hard thing? That we have like low season and high season. The high season starts from November to maybe May, and then from May to November, the beginning of November is very slow. So
Yeah.
it's very hard for businesses to survive. That's why a lot of restaurants in Vallarta, they open and they close,
Yeah.
because it's not easy.
No, it's not, and it's probably a little easier for you because you don't have to worry about a nasty landlord, right?
No, I don't have a landlord. That's a good thing about this place.
Yeah. All right, let's go outside. Let's go leave Layla's for just a few minutes. Let's go out into Puerto Vallarta because this is what I do for my listeners who love to eat. One of the reasons we're here is because they love to eat. But we're not going to talk about lunch and we're not going to talk about dinner because I don't want to step on your business. But I want to hear about your favorite breakfast places in Puerto Vallarta. What are your favorites?
Well, I have few, but one of my favorite places, they just open few blocks from where I am, a place called Meños, and it's two in a top floor. They have beautiful view. They have like a lot of Mexican dishes, Mexican breakfast that we like chilaquiles and sopes and things that Mexicans like to eat. So it's a very good place for you to go and try it.
Yeah, nice and a nice view. You're right.
Beautiful view.
Yeah.
You can see the whole bay.
Yeah, they're in Cinco de Diciembre, and they're across from La Traviata, I think.
Yeah.
There's another restaurant
Just
right across the street.
Mm-hmm.
There's two View restaurants next door to each other there. Any others that you like for breakfast?
I like Vitea.
Yeah.
I like Vitea because it's at the end of the Malecon, and you have a view of the ocean too. So it's one of my favorites too. It's another place I call Mexico Latte. But that's not very easy to get. You have to know Puerto Vallarta to really go to that place.
Okay. Is it? Did you say? You tell me what it is, and I'll make a map.
Okay.
Mexico Latte.
Mexico Latte.
Mexico Latte.
Latte. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. We'll find it. Speaking of latte, Let's talk about latte, and let's talk about coffee. You have a favorite coffee place?
Well, one is one that just opened across the street from my restaurant. If you like coffee, you can. That's one of my favorites. Sometimes when I have the time, I go and I sit there.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, okay, good. You probably make some good coffee here, too, I imagine.
Yes.
How about a bakery? You got a favorite bakery?
Well, my favorite bakery is the street bakers. You know, sometimes they make their own bread and they come and sell it in the street with the huge baskets.
Yeah.
That's the one they're my favorite. I like to have local people. That's what I like.
That's what you like, and you like that way you help local people and keep it all in the family. Right?
Yes,
Where
we have to help the local
keep the
people.
patas saladas together here. How do you buy your baked goods? Do you do the same way?
Well, we bake it here.
Ah, okay.
When we're going to make bread, we make our own bread.
Really?
Yes.
Look at you.
Yes.
All right, that's pretty good. Do you have any hobbies, Isabel?
Well, hobbies, I love to dance.
Really?
Yes. So I take classes like 3 times a week.
What kind of dance?
Well, with salsa, merengue, rancheros, cumbias, you
Yeah.
know, the Mexicans, crazy dancers too.
Yeah. Well, nice. What's the name of the studio?
They call Phoenix
Fanny's Dance Studio.
Dance Studio. Yes.
And it's here in Cinco, or where is it at?
It's in Del Pitillal.
In Pitillal.
Pitillal.
All right, you gotta do just a little traveling, not too much.
Not too much. It's very close by.
Yeah, it is close by. If you had a day to leave town and go somewhere, but come back, where would you go?
I like to go to San Sebastián del Oeste.
Ah, yes.
It's a very beautiful town. It reminds me of Puerto Vallarta a long, long time ago when I was a child. That's
Good.
why I love that town.
And it's cooler, too. Especially
is.
this time of year.
The
So
weather
that's
is different.
Yes, that's a good day trip. But what would you do? What would you do if you had like 3 days?
3 days, I love Mascota.
Really?
It's around about 2 hours from Puerto Vallarta. It's a
Right.
very beautiful small town too.
Yeah.
And it's like a small city. So it's a beautiful place. They have beautiful hotels. I have friends there, so I love to go there.
So if you were going up to San Sebastian, how do you get to Mascota, let's say, from San Sebastian?
Well, usually we drive. So it's
I mean, is it
about-
along the same road, though?
It's the same road.
It is, right? You
It
just
is.
keep on going
Keep
further,
on going,
right?
maybe like half an hour from San Sebastian.
Yeah, and that's how
It's not that far.
That's not far at all. All right, so tell us about that little town. You said it's kind of a little, it's kind of a little big town in the mountains there.
It says Mascota.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
What do you think the population is there?
I have no idea, but
okay.
I love it because it's so quiet. You can rent a house close in the mountains, and it's all green, and the weather is really nice, very cool. So when it's really hot in Puerto Vallarta, you can go there and cool off a little bit.
Okay, so if you get a little bit tired of San Sebastian, just head down the road to Mascota.
Yeah, you will love it.
I've seen pictures. I really have to go. I've never been. I've been to San Sebastian. I just never been down the road. A little longer. I have to do that. If you had a word of advice for a visitor to Puerto Vallarta, first time maybe they're coming here for the first time, what would it be?
Well, just to travel light and not to be afraid. Mexico is safe. I mean, Puerto Vallarta is very, very safe. And you can walk night times, and believe me, you will have no problems. It's safe to come to Puerto Vallarta.
Excellent. Is there how about? Let me ask you about your bar. I didn't ask you about your bar. You have any special drinks that come out of there?
Yes, you have to come and try the margaritas. We
Okay.
have one that we'll call the Diablo Margarita. That's the devil margarita because we put a little bit of serrano pepper on it. So it's a little bit spicy.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Has strawberries and pineapple. The tequila, of course.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's no margarita with a tequila. Is there anything I'm missing? Is there something else that you wanted to add?
Well, No, I think you asked me all the questions, and I want to invite everybody to come to Puerto Vallarta. You will love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful town, safe, quiet, has everything you need, restaurants, nightclubs, beaches are nice.
And Isabel and Laylas also they have
Exactly.
here. What is your address? What street are you on?
I'm in the Venezuela 137. We are in between. We have in front a beautiful park called Hidalgo Park. So on the main avenue they call Avenida Mexico.
Excellent. And let's see, you have a Facebook page. You're online.
Yes, we have Facebook. So you can just put Laylas and you can see our menu too in our web page.
Right. Is it Laylas PV or Laylas Puerto Vallarta?
Laylas PV, Puerto Vallarta.
Okay, one of those. It'll pop up. Believe me. Like the page, and then you can follow them when they have specials or when they're doing some really great stuff. You'll find out. It'll pop up on your timeline. So make sure you go to their page and like it. And I'll have links to all of those, of course, as I always do. And we'll have links to the things that Isabel talked about. And you can find it, of course, at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com and just look up Layla's Restaurant. It'll be there under this episode. And Isabel, I got to thank you so much for taking the time and joining me and talking with me and introducing yourself and Layla's, your daughter's namesake, this beautiful restaurant, to my listeners. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, and we will wait all my friends to come over and see Laylas.
Excelente.
Adios.
Such a nice lady, right? In such a lovely restaurant. Please, just take my word for it. The food is absolutely delicious. What do I like about this place? The dishes are fresh. The food is fresh. It's imaginative. It's changing. So it's not always the same. It's just lovely. And the drinks, the bar is fantastic. That chili margarita, let me tell you, that was delicious. I have pictures of the restaurant. I have pictures of the food. I have a picture of Isabel. I got a picture of some of her crew over at Layla's. Just wait a day. Remember, the service is always attentive. It's always polite. And, you need to put Layla's on your list the next time that you're in Puerto Vallarta. Really, you do. You'll thank me for it, truly. I have links, like I said. I have a map that'll take you to the front door. Even though I gave you the directions, I'll give you that Google map. It'll take you right to the front door. You'll find them in my show notes at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. All right. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this week. Next week, stay tuned for more on-the-ground reports from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, with travel tips, great restaurant and excursion ideas, and more. But until then, remember that this is an interactive show where I depend on your questions and I depend on your suggestions about all things Puerto Vallarta. If you think of something that I should be talking about, please reach out to me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending us your message. And remember, if you're considering booking any type of tour while you're in Puerto Vallarta, well, you must go to vallartainfo.com, that's JR's website, and reserve your tour through him right from his website. Remember, this is a value-for-value proposition, my friends. His experience and on-the-ground knowledge of everything Puerto Vallarta in exchange for your making a purchase of a tour that you would do anyway. You're just doing it through him as a way of saying thank you. Thanks, JR, for being our guide. It costs no more than if you're going to use someone else, so just do it, really. And when you do take one of those tours, email me about your experiences. Maybe you can come on board and share with others what you liked or didn't like about the tour. Again, contact me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off a message. And don't forget JR's maps. Download them. Don't forget he has got his DIY tours, his revitalized happy hour board, and more. I have links to all of those in the show notes as well. And once again, if you like this podcast, please take the time and subscribe and give me a good review on iTunes if you would. That way we can get the word out to more and more people about the magic of this place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Remember, I made it easy for you to do just that with each episode I create. But if you haven't been to my website, you can have a look there. I have the links to the places that we talk about. I've got interesting pictures and more right there. Blog posted in the show notes for each episode of the show that I create. So check them out for sure if you haven't already. All right? All right. Thank you, Isabel Madero from Laylas Restaurant in Puerto Vallarta. Thanks for telling us your story. I'm sure that Layla would be proud of what you've done to memorialize her. The restaurant is beautiful. It's full of life and love and good food. I have pictures, like I said. I have links in the show notes, so don't miss her for sure. Really, go over there and see Isabel. You can follow them on Facebook as well. Don't forget, you guys, get on over to the Rio Horcones. Enjoy that beautiful concert. It's going to be on the 11th. Make sure you get on over there. And, hey, thanks to all of you for listening all the way through this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. This is Barry Kessler signing off with a wish for you to slow down, be kind, and live the Vallarta lifestyle. Nos vemos, amigos.
De Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Solo camino eterno por la playa, me encuentro junto al río cuando todo está en calma. Pronto cae la noche, me brillas Puerto Vallarta, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. De Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar, samba de Puerto Vallarta.